Hey guys, Adam Giles here with Zenfloat Co. Our, bi-weekly live now is what we're doing here. So I wanted to take today and go through water maintenance with you guys. Something that I go through a lot with folks, and just wanted to be a little bit more clear with what it is, what you guys need to do. It's simple. Water maintenance is, and tent maintenance is probably one of the quickest things to do. It only takes about 10 minutes a week. So let's take some time and go through that today. One thing I do want to mention, if you guys haven't already signed up for, hey Alan, if you guys have not already signed up or became part of the floating group that we have, it's called the Floating Community. Make sure that you guys go ahead and be a part of that. There's a lot of great people on there, some tent owners, some not. Something to definitely take a look at. Give me a second here. Let's see. So, yeah, I'll stay down here. I've actually owned my tent for probably about 2 years now. Actually, not quite 2 years. I haven't changed the water yet, so that's something to remember, that if you keep up on the normal maintenance, you're not going to have to change the water for 1.5 to 2 years. And that's simply by making sure that you're rinsing your body off before you get in there. Rinse thoroughly, rub yourself down. You don't have to use soap. Actually, preferably not to use soap or shampoo in your hair, because you don't want the residual oils sticking on you and transferring to the tent. That's something to keep in mind. Let's see. Oh, yeah, while we're going through this as well, I'm doing this on my own, so I won't be able to see your questions right away, but please do ask questions, and I'll get to them as soon as we can. And we'll, of course, be watching this afterwards and answer all your questions as well. So, let's see. Again, takes about 10 minutes a week. All you're simply doing is, number one, you'll check the water level, of course. It's going to be about 10 to 11 inches is what you want it. I just drop a ruler in real simply, add the water if I need to. Every time you add water, typically you're going to have to add salt as well. And so what I'll do when I do that is just run up to my salt, fill this up, and I usually just throw a quart in there every time I add water. Makes it easy. Let's see. So after you check your water levels, and I would pull the phone over there, but it's a little bit more difficult for me. You'll just use the hydrometer. This is the range, of course, that you want to be in, okay? Just suck it. A lot of people have issues with this even, okay? Because it's simple. When you squeeze it down, you may not get all the water all the way up there. So just tip it upside down, let some more air come in, and then suck some more up, okay? This is the range you want to be in right there, all right? And I have had some people in different countries, different areas, they tell me that it sits right below when they put the full 800 pounds in. That's okay. Test the water. Like, get in there and actually float before you go adding a lot more salt in there. I've had some people, hello Mason, I've had some people actually put too much salt in right from the start because it wasn't actually measuring right where it is. Float first before you go putting a lot more than the 800 pounds initially in there. All right. Then once you've actually checked the water level and whatnot, you want to just do your normal peroxide and pH test. So you'll take your strips, drop it in there. And then just measure it up to the levels. So, looks like I'm a little bit low on the peroxide. Just matching up the colors. The pH would be the center one here. Looks like I'm right where I need to be. And then the alkalinity is a little bit low. You can adjust the alkalinity by just using some baking soda. Put a couple tablespoons in there, just add accordingly. It's not going to make too much or affect it too much right at first, but as long as your pH level is where it needs to be and your hydrogen peroxide is where it needs to be, you're going to be all right. When you're adding the hydrogen peroxide, now this is probably the easiest 35% to find, and you can get, I think, 2 gallons of this on Amazon for about, I think, around $62, okay? And they'll have it shipped to your house. So initially when you buy your tent, Hello, Tammy. How are you? Howdy, Emily. When you add, or excuse me, when you first get your tent, a lot of people, they're wondering where to get everything. Amazon's the easiest place to pick up some hydrogen peroxide, as well as maybe grab a skimmer, maybe a scum bug. Let me show you what a scum bug looks like. This is a scum bug. This is going to be a sponge that you just leave in the water in order to absorb oil in the water. You can get a 2-pack on Amazon as well for about $10. So simple stuff. Hydrogen peroxide, be careful with this stuff though. All right, you don't want to get on your hands, of course. It's 35%. It can burn you. Whenever I add it, I'll usually just grab a measuring cup. Or if I know after you pour it a few times, you can kind of get an idea of how much is going in there, what you're going to need. And that's something I do mention to a lot of people as well when they're doing the normal maintenance. If you're using weekly and after a month, you kind of got an idea of what you're adding in the water. You don't have to waste these every week, I don't think, Just get an idea of the uses you're doing and the water maintenance you already have been doing, and just add accordingly each week from there. Every few weeks, maybe use one of these and test it. Unless you're doing it very often and a lot more people using it, then you definitely want to test it more often, of course. So, let's see, hydrometer, check pH. So yeah, when you're checking the pH, again, you may have to go up or down, and this is something that I've noticed a lot of people have difference in the water throughout the country, or excuse me, throughout the world. They'll tell me the pH is not quite where it needs to be, or they can't quite get it there. I don't know if it depends on altitude or the area people are in. Some people just struggle actually getting it right where it needs to be. Don't be too concerned about it. It will get there. Just add accordingly. Just do tablespoons at a time. Nothing bad, or nothing too difficult, all right? Let's see. Let's see. So, oh, yeah, simple stuff. When you're besides the hydrogen peroxide, the pH levels, you want to just do a normal wipe down every other week. I hop in the tent and I'll wipe down the walls, I'll wipe down the door right there, the flaps, just give everything a good wipe down, even inside along the edges of the flaps and whatnot, because the water dissipates and you'll see crystallized salt there sometimes. Don't worry about that. When you fill the tent back up, the salt will just dissipate into the water again. You won't have to worry about it. But after you do a good quick wipe down around the inside, it's not difficult again. Just spray the walls with some 3% hydrogen peroxide. They sell it in the little bottles like this. You can spray it right in there. If you don't have the 3%, but you have the bottle, I just dilute the 35% and spray that on the walls as well. It's not difficult whatsoever. So, let's see, Ellen, what are you about? So what about alkalinity if it's too high? That's a good question. I don't think you can really adjust it if it's too high, to be honest with you. I apologize if there's a better answer for that. That's not something that I run into very often where people have it too high, but I will definitely look into that, Emily. Now, is that who that said that? Yeah, Emily and I will get back to you on that to see if I can get a better answer for you. Okay. So again, every other week you want to just wipe down the walls, spray them with 3% hydrogen peroxide. Once a month, you'll pull the filter bag out. Pull it out, just hold it up, let it drain. Don't pour it out. I guess it doesn't, I preferably don't pour it out because everything that you caught in there, you don't want to dump it back into the tent. Just hold it up and let it drain from the bottom, all right? And then I usually just grab a bucket or something and just haul it to my bathroom real fast, throw it in the shower, drain it or rinse it for a bit. Just soak it, rinse it, simple stuff, put it back in, all right? That's really the gist of the water maintenance and the maintenance on the tent. It's not very difficult. Average, like I said, maybe 10 minutes per week. You can do a little bit more often if you'd like, but for the most part, if you're just doing normal use a few times a week, even if it's a few people and a few times a week, it's still going to be okay doing it just the way I just told you. All right. I also wanted to take a second for those that may not own our tents yet and just show the setup for the new filtration system, because people do get confused when they get this with their tent, okay? The way this would actually work, you'd turn it like this, okay? So this part right here, this bottom part is going to connect right to the filter, okay? This is going to go right off to the filter bag, of course. And this line here, excuse me, this part right here, this is going to connect to the extra hosing that goes along the side of the tent. Just like that. It's super, super simple. Let's see, Mason Butterfield. Baking soda will increase your pH alkalinity. Yes, it will increase it, but if the alkalinity is too low is what she was asking there, Mason. Thank you for that, though. Appreciate that. And Emily, is it much easier than my pool? It is. It's way easier than your pool. Super easy compared to your pool. It's not, it doesn't, even a hot tub. People have more issues with a hot tub than they do maintaining the water in the float tanks. It's not that difficult at the end of the day. And, you know, even if you're spending 15 minutes cleaning it a week, you know, you think about the benefits you're getting from it, it's worth it, you know, or think about the time you're going to drive to a facility just because they're going to clean it for you, the time you waste going there, going back, money you spend. At the end of the day, having it in your home, accessing it whenever you want without going anywhere, that 10 minutes, 15 minutes a week is way worth it. Clear and simple. So, let's see. Trying to think. Every time I get out of the tent, you guys, I just simply wipe down the front of it, like right in front, you know, because I don't like the residual salt everywhere. I'll take the towel that I just used before. Actually, I usually step down onto the towel that I previously used to keep the salt from going anywhere. A lot of people are concerned about it being on carpet. As you can see, mine is actually on carpet. I do have a rug out in front of it, and then I'll step down onto the previous towel I used to clean or to dry myself off. And the great thing about the tent, you guys, is people are, you know, they're so worried about getting out and getting it all over the place. You can dry off while you're standing right inside the tent. Okay? I'll usually dry off, and then right when I'm getting out, I'll just shake my last leg, dry it off, and I'm done. You know, it's actually a lot cleaner than people would think. Okay? This flap, of course, you know, some people like to have it in when they're floating. Some people like to have it out so it's not touching their head or whatnot. But that is something that you definitely want to make sure you're wiping down each week as well. Oh, one thing I wanted to show you guys. I live in an area, like you can see the sun coming in right here. And if I want to use my tent in the middle of the day, then sometimes all the lights shining right on the door. And I don't get light in there, but I can see. I mean, I guess I do get light in there if I can see a little bit of light. But one thing I'll do simply to take care of that is I'll just take the towel, a towel, and I'll just lay it right there, right on the edge of the door, and then close the door right there. And that's going to block any of that little bit of light that you might get through there. Let's see, baking soda will, oh, no, same questions, never mind. Oh wait, here we go. Hi Adam, I'll be calling you soon. All right, cool, Jenny, do that. I look forward to it. Again, like I said, it's super simple. Please ask me any questions. We'll be watching this for the next little bit. Check out the the floating community page. Make sure you're part of that. And let's see, make sure I got everything. Yeah, I went through it pretty quick because it's not that difficult, you guys. Let's see. I apologize. Again, super easy. Yeah, we're good, you guys. Thanks for your time. Let us know, again, if there's anything that you guys want us to cover in these. You know, we're going back and just going through this. Hi, Ellen. Oh, you're welcome, Ellen. Let us know what you would want us to cover when you're talking about tent owners or non-tent owners. If there's anything that we haven't covered in these videos, we'd be happy to go through and really break it down for you guys. We just want to make sure everybody's taken care of. And again, everybody's floating. Whether it's with us or not, start floating. The benefits are too amazing not to be doing this as often as possible. So thank you for your time, you guys. Keep asking questions and have a fantastic day. We'll see you later. I don't know how to stop this.